I'm pretty sure you guys all know why this is late. But it's late because middle of the night game ended at 11. Had no opportunity to record anything. So I woke up early this morning too. So I couldn't record it in the morning and get it out at 12 that I usually do. So your video's coming out now. I don't think it really matters. Only thing that really matters is that I'm less mad than I was before. And just to start this off, I'm not mad that we lost. I actually kind of wanted to lose. I'm mad at the decision to bench Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco. I'm mad at that. I've been mad at that. And even if Richardson plays bad there, we score more than 6 points on offense. We scored 6 points on offense. The other 7 points came from a fumble from Sam Darnold. I'm trying to remember who got the fumble. Franklin and Cross got a pick, so that's good. Especially Franklin, because people have been saying he hasn't been doing good. I kind of forgot who got the fumble, but really, it doesn't matter. Basically, okay, Kenny Moore received the fumble and, took it to the end zone, but someone forced the fumble. Grant Stewart, maybe someone like that. Someone forced the fumble, and Kenny Moore picked it up, took it to the house, and that was our only points until the fourth quarter. The only two drives that got us points were both field goals. We did not get into the end zone once. And let's be honest, the offense really didn't get us into any of these positions. The first field goal at the beginning of the half, that was off of a pick that was the Nick Cross pick, and that got us already in field goal range at that point, and Joe Flacco didn't do anything there. Then, at the end of the game, Joe Flacco threw his second interception of the game, but it was called back to a penalty and a defensive pass interference. We got moved into field goal range. Then we kicked the field goal. Of course, offside kick, no good. And that was the game. So really, the offense did nothing. The offense, who everyone this week was saying was going to be way better with Joe Flacco in, basically put up no points. You can take the 6 with a grain of salt. And I'm going to get to Joe Flacco. And before I want to go into any of this, I want to preface this. I do not hate Joe Flacco. I actually very much like Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco was on 31 different teams in the NFL, I'd be rooting for him. I'd be supporting him. And the fact that he's on this team isn't the problem, obviously. He's meant to be a backup. He's not meant to be the starter. He's meant to be, oh shoot, Anthony Richardson got injured. We need someone who's actually competent to play ball. He's not supposed to be the starter of the franchise. He was never meant to be that. And the fact that we just put him in because Richardson's doing bad, even though he's had 10 starts, just for Joe Flacco to put up the least amount of yardage in any game, the second least points in any game. Only one before was that Packers game, which, to be fair, that was a Richardson game. That game was weird overall. We barely even touched the ball that game. Of course, not trying to defend him or anything, but still. And like I said, with the lowest offensive yards per game, the second, the Titans game. Who started that game? Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was starting the Titans game. And those are our bottom 2 offensive yards in the season. So overall, it was a terrible game on both sides. Both sides were honestly not good today or yesterday. We scored 13, 7 being on the defense, and 6 being on the Vikings making dumb mistake. Honestly, you can put 10 on the defense because, again, the Nick Cross pick got us into field goal range. Offense didn't do anything, and we kicked the field goal to score. So you can put 10 on the defense, and then 3 on the Vikings committing that penalty when it would have been Joe Flacco's second interception of the day. They scored 2 touchdowns in the third, and then they iced the game off of a touchdown in the fourth. So let's see how almighty Joe Flacco did. The best quarterback in the league, way better than Anthony Richardson. 16 for 27, 179 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. And you can say all you want about, well, Richardson threw 10 for 32. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be completely honest. I would rather have Anthony Richardson throwing 10 for 70 for 200 yards and a touchdown than have Flacco come in, throw 20 for 25, 150 yards, and 2 picks. Because let's be honest here, there should have been 2 picks in this game. If the Vikings player didn't commit that pass interference, there would have been 2 picks on this sheet. And while Richardson isn't accurate, at least he's young. Joe Flacco wasn't accurate, and he's 39 years old. He's 39 years old, and he's not accurate. At least in this game. There were multiple times where someone was wide open. 3rd and 2, Taylor or Goodson or Sermon, whoever was in at running back, wide open on the right side. Dude throws it into coverage on the left side, incomplete. 4th down. Dude throws a ball straight into a double team. It was a hospital ball. It's not caught. There was a 3rd down where Taylor had an easy screen, and he just overthrew the guy. And then there was one play where Joe Flacco threw the ball way too early. Taylor wasn't even turned around, and the ball just hit the ground. And what the stat sheet doesn't say is that Joe Flacco also fumbled the ball. Now, you can put that on Taylor because basically Joe Flacco was handing off the ball, but he handed the ball off under him, like in his stomach, and not into his chest, and the ball bounced off his stomach. You know, you can put that on either or, but the fumble was credited to Flacco. It wasn't credited to Taylor. It was credited to Flacco. So, you can put that on him. You could not. It depends on how you want to look at it. But Joe Flacco was supposed to come in, torch everyone, hit all of his targets, and magically teach Richardson how to play quarterback. And Richardson learned more from a quarterback by Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson than Joe Flacco. Now, yes, Sam Darnold did have 2 interceptions, but he went 28 for 34 for 290 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, that's part of our defense not being good, although I do admit the defense did play really well this game. You can see in the overview, they did not allow points in the first or the second quarter. That's mostly because Will Reichard wanted to be a bum and missed all of his kicks all of a sudden. But still, I gotta clap it up to the defense. Great job, Gus. You're somehow not on the hot seat, and you wouldn't expect that. But Joe Flacco, he should not be started. I reached that conclusion last week. I reached the conclusion when Richardson was benched for Flacco, and now Everyone who is telling all the Colts fans that Flacco should be starting are eating their words right now. They're all going back on what they said. Especially Pat McAfee. Had to call him out there because he was being really rude. But, sorry. And another thing that Joe Flacco does not help with is both the running game and, awareness. Because Jonathan Taylor, one of the best player on our team, most likely, had 13 carries for 48 yards. 13 carries for 48. That's Jonathan Taylor. He did not have a good game. He didn't have any good holes, really. His yards really came on passing, which he got 3 for 11. He got a big pass play, like 15 yards, maybe, like 12, and he blew up. But if Anthony Richardson's in, even if Richardson is inaccurate, the defense still has to watch to see if he's going to rush the ball. And that also opens up lanes for Jonathan Taylor to rush the ball. With Joe Flacco, well, he's not going to run the ball, obviously. So when they're blitzing like 7, Taylor's going to get stuffed every time. But when they're blitzing 7 and Richardson's there, and Richardson can block, and Richardson can take the ball and run it and get a first down, that puts stress on the defense. That leads to more Jonathan Taylor yards, more rushing yards overall for the team, and, the QB gets a part in the rushing as well. I saw at least 2 to 3 times where there were wide open holes where if Richardson had the ball, he's playing quarterback, he runs for the first down there. Now, does he get concussed? That's a non-zero. It might happen. But there was at least 3 times where there was a wide open lane for a rush, and Flacco couldn't do it because he's old. You can even see he ran 2 times for -1 yards. So that obviously is going to show you that Richardson's at least more entailed to this offense. Because the offense rotates around the rushing game, plays around the rushing game, and without a mobile quarterback, or a quarterback that can at least run, the rushing game's not good. But that's my sort of piece on Joe Flacco. Again, I don't hate the guy. I actually very like the guy. I'm a fan of him. But he should not be starting. He should be the backup. And, I'm going to continue to say that until he's benched or until we go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. Probably not even then, because we're probably going to be 4-8 come the Lions game. So, the rest of the stats, I already mentioned Taylor. Doolin ran 2 jet sweeps for 17 yards. Sermon ran 2 times for 4 yards. Taylor wasn't in for that fourth quarter for some reason. I think they said he was injured. I don't know how. I hope not. Because if we don't have Taylor and we have Flacco, we're cooked. Josh Downs led on receiving. This dude, Joe Flacco, really loves Josh Downs, obviously. 6 for 60. No touchdowns, obviously. None of them got touchdowns. Pierce got 3 for 41. He got a slant. That's pretty rare. He's usually the go guy. Another thing I forgot to mention. There was nothing down the field. Richardson at least throws 5 balls down the field very deep. And I didn't see one of those at all from the offense that game. So, why weren't they running any of those? I don't know. I mean, Joe Flacco can throw them. We saw back when they were playing the Jaguars. He can throw them. And I don't know why they weren't thrown. And other than Downs and Pierce, everyone only had... Well, Taylor had 3 catches, but everyone only had 1 catch. Mitchell had a great toe tap. Good to see, because he's one of the rookies on our team. 1 for 22. Granson caught 1 for 22. Pittman, quiet day. I'm starting to think that he just doesn't care. Now, I'm not trying to discredit him, obviously, but he only caught 1 ball for 14 yards. I don't know why they're not throwing to him. I don't know if he's running his routes correctly. It's a bit concerning considering he's kind of our top receiver. And if he's not playing good, the receiving game's not playing good. It's starting to become that Downs is our top receiver, which, shouldn't be because Pittman's been here for long. Taylor, he caught 3 for 11. Sermon caught 1 for 9. Doolin was targeted on that 4th down and did not catch him. Like I said, the defense did really well with Cross and Franklin getting picks. EJ Speed led for tackles, 9 tackles, 3 assists. Buckner got a sack. Stewart got 2 sacks. Pay also got a sack for 4 sacks on the day. So the defensive line was playing really good today. Well, yesterday. Secondary, not so much, which is what I expected coming into the year, but it's kind of been a role reversal for the past few games, so glad or not glad, at least the defensive line's getting better. Latu, unfortunately, did not put up any stats, so that's sad. Kick returns, none. There's 1 punt return from Josh Downs for 12 yards. Matt Gay missed a 52-yarder, but he made a 54-yarder. So, you would like him to make the kicks. It wouldn't have mattered. Well, it kind of would have mattered if he made the kick, then we would have driven down and tried to get the tying touchdown. But we wouldn't get that. It's 2 for 3, he missed a 52-yarder, but he made a 54-yarder. That's improvement. 7 points on the day. Rigoberto Sanchez punted 3 times for 148 yards. Now for the Vikings. Sam Darnold, like I said, 28 for 34, 293 and 2. Jefferson threw a slant pass, or like a backwards pass to Aaron Jones. He got 22 yards there. Justin Jefferson, better quarterback than Joe Flacco? Possibly. Who knows? Maybe if Justin Jefferson was on our team, we could play him as quarterback too. My phone kind of dropped there. My bad. For their rushing, Aaron Jones had a decent day. 21 for 64. No touchdowns. Akers also came in. Ran 46 yards on 6 carries. Dropping the ball like Joe Flacco did. Sam Darnold ran 4 times for 14 yards. And Addison ran a sweep for 9. Jefferson also led in receiving. You'd expect him to torch our receiving game, obviously. 7 for 137 yards, surprisingly no touchdowns. But Oliver, Addison, and Naylor, all 3 had touchdowns, so that's good for them. Oliver had 5 for 58. Addison had 5 for 42. TJ Hawkinson came back from injury, had 3 for 27. Aaron Jones got 4 for 18. Powell caught 1 for 9. Akers got 2 for 7. Sherfield Sr. caught 1 for 7. I wonder who his junior is. And Naylor caught 1 for 7, along with the touchdown. Murphy got the interception on Flacco. There were 3 late sacks in the game, 2 by Greener, 1 by Ward. No kick returns, but Justin Jefferson apparently was on the kick return team. That's interesting. And Powell got 1 kick return, 15 yards. Reichard, like I said, off today. He has had a perfect season the whole game. And all of a sudden, he wants to miss 2 kicks. He missed the 50-something yarder. And then he missed like a chip shot. He bounced off the crossbar. He was off. I'm pretty sure they said he was injured, so that's possibly why. Interesting. And then Wright punted 2 times for 83 yards. Now, team stats. Blown out on every category, every measure, everything overall. 227 to 415. 415. I didn't even realize it was that bad. 227 to 415. But Richardson's the problem, am I right? 159 passing yards, 282. 68 rushing yards to 133. They had 5.8 yards per play. We had 4.6. But Richardson's the problem, am I right? 13 first downs to 29 first downs for the Vikings. 3 for 11 on 3rd down. 3 for 11 on 3rd down. Compared to their 6 to 12. We also went for 2 fourth downs. We got one of them. We did not get the other one. Well, they went for a 4th and short, like inches. They were obviously going to get that. We had 49 total plays. They had 71. We allowed 3 sacks. They allowed 4. 3 punts for us, 2 punts for them. It was like 1 for 10 for the Vikings until that last drive. So really, it's 1 for 10, but 3 for 41 for them. Well, we had 7 penalties for 50 yards. 1 fumble lost, 1 interception thrown. They had 2 interceptions and a fumble. And they held the ball for 36 minutes. We had the ball for 23. Parroting the early season woes we had back when we played teams like the Vikings. The Packers, not the Vikings. And anyway, that is all. Second in the division, you all know that. I mean, Titans and the Jaguars, both terrible. We all know that. Really, none of this matters anymore. We're basically screwed at this point. So, look at the other divisions. Look at how everyone else is doing. NFC South's in the same situation we are, let's be honest. We're the Buccaneers. Everyone gets injured. At least they have a good QB, obviously. Like I said, expect us to be 4-8. I mean, we're not beating the Bills. We're not beating the Lions. And the Jets, we're no longer playing them on prime time. I made a short about that. But we're probably not going to beat them either because Aaron Rodgers is the better unk. So, going into the easy part of the schedule, where I said we'd sweep, look at all these easy games, we're going to be 4-8. And if we run the table, we go 9-8, probably missing the playoffs. So, that's all. Unfortunate. I had high expectations for the season. It is not going well. So, thank you guys for watching. Peace.